He's Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer, Turner Sports NBA analyst, fresh off calling the Western Conference Finals as we get ready for Game 1 coming up tonight. In the meantime, Reg, let's talk about the 76ers and Brian Colangelo's story. How do you think this ends?
I'm sure there'll be a meeting of the minds behind closed doors. When I first saw this and read this, I thought to myself, this is a career killer. Whether it's true or not, as you know, sometimes leaks or allegations are probably just as worse as it actually being true. So right now, the taint is already out there. And when you have your star players already responding to it, well, remember, I know they're young, but they're working on rookie deals. And these young players in today's game, they have long memories. So whether you wrote it or not, your wife wrote it, a friend wrote it, they were your accounts or not, you said you knew one of the four, regardless, it has your name written all over it. It could be a career killer because these young players today are very sensitive. They have long memories, and they're taking note. And especially when your best player comes out, and you know Embiid wasn't going to hold back. And I like what he said. He doesn't believe it. But still, for a general manager or president to be associated with something like that, it's a little sad, frankly.
If you were a free agent, would this impact you if you were considering the 76ers?
Absolutely not. This is a team on the rise.
Really?
And no, not at all. Because the embarrassment is already out there. You know it's not going to happen again. And you're looking at the makeup of the team. This team is going to be around for the next, barring injury, for the next 7 years or so. Great young nucleus. So, no, if I'm a free agent and I want to win, and especially in the East, it would not sway my decision whatsoever.
If the Rockets...
Because I think the owner at the end of the day is going to make an executive decision here. If he thinks it's an embarrassment or he does not think he can get free agents, then, yeah, Brian Colangelo will be gone. But if I'm LeBron James, this does not hurt me thinking, wow, that general manager is an idiot. I'm not going there. No, I would be like Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, future.
You called the Western Conference Finals. We debated this after that Game 7, when the Rockets missed 27 consecutive threes. I know that a shooter keeps shooting, but there are certain guys who should keep shooting and certain guys who shouldn't keep shooting. At what point did you say during the broadcast, how about driving to the hoop? How about something, try to get something to break up this streak here of 27 consecutive misses?
A leopard can't change his spots. You live and die, right? So they've been playing like this all season long. And coming into the playoffs, they were a very heavily isolated team. And Daryl Morey, the general manager, president of the Rockets, and D'Antoni, that's what they came up with. Threes, layups, and free throws. Their mid-range game is non-existent. And it just reared its ugly head at the worst time.
But I got to force something, Reg. I have to get something. Why not try a layup, get to the hoop? Why not try to get a foul?
I think they were. They were trying. They were trying to get layups, too. But I was the master at this. How about one dribble, a couple steps in, and shoot a 19-footer, 17-footer?
Yeah.
That sets up the rest of your game. The notion that the mid-range game is gone, to me it's sad, because people want to assume that all I did was shoot threes. No, my mid-range game allowed me to shoot threes. So it just baffles me that they wouldn't take a long two, especially when you're struggling. But in the middle of it, Dan, you can't tell me Trevor Ariza, who was, 0 for 12 in that game and 0 for 8 or 9 from threes, Gordon, James Harden, these were the principal shooters having missed 27. They didn't know they had missed 27 in a row. They were just jacking.
Man.
They were just jacking, doing what they do best.
Yeah, I watched it, and once you start to miss, now it can play with your mind if you're not ready for it. Guys who are great scorers or shooters know that eventually it'll click. It's the guys who aren't great scorers and great shooters, that's when they get in their own head, and now they're going, oh my God, if I miss another one, or I miss another one. So that's where I thought not everybody needed to be shooting threes, that you needed to force something. You had 3 fouls on Klay Thompson. Like there were things, I just looked at it as an opportunity lost, and I don't think Houston ever gets this close again. Not with this group to play for an NBA championship. Just don't.
Here was a clear indication. It's the body language of the fans. And I don't know if this played through the telecast, but obviously you could hear the noise. You could hear how loud it was in there. When they started that run of 27 missed threes, the cheers started to go to moans and groans. Maybe that should have been an indication, because it was tense. Obviously, Game 7, you're going home for both teams. So when the threes started to mount up, and it wasn't like these were contested threes, Dan.
I know.
A lot of these were wide open threes that were. And I will say this for a reason, and even maybe Gordon at times. I think the toll defensively that they were trying to put, and they did throughout this series, put on Durant, because they were picking up full, they were overplaying. I don't want to make excuses, but it took their toll on their legs. They had 0 legs when they were taking these shots.
That's true.
And again, it just showed at the worst time. The same thing, you could make the same case for Boston. That was the worst time to go 6 for 39. They had been pretty good from 3. And the Rockets had shot pretty good from 3, but it just showed in Game 7.
Reggie Miller joining us. If Houston was in the finals against Cleveland, who would be favored?
Cleveland.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I felt Cleveland was rooting for Houston to win that series.
Okay.
Because I think LeBron James and an inexperienced Houston team, I think personally I would have picked LeBron and the Cavs. But now that you should get a 4-peat, you kind of know what's going to happen, personally.
How big of an underdog should the Cavs be in this series?
Well, I will say they do have this going for them. Maybe you know better than I do. I don't know the availability of Andre Iguodala and how healthy he will be, because his defense guarding LeBron James will be huge. I mean, we saw how important his loss was. I mean, they needed a Game 7 to beat Houston. His inavailability was huge, is not necessarily defensively, but even at the offensive end, he gets everyone in the right spot, him and Draymond Green offensively. The ball swings, it doesn't stick. The Warriors really were reverting to what Houston does, a lot of isolation plays for Kevin Durant. So I think that's what the Cavs have going for them. If he plays and he's healthy, I personally have the Warriors maybe in 5. I want to give LeBron James 6 games just because of what he's done during the playoffs. And we don't know about Kevin Love. Will he be ready tonight? These are all questions that I'm sure leading up to game time will be dissected in and out. But, those are 2 things I want to see what's going to happen here in Game 1. The availability of Kevin Love and that concussion protocol, and how healthy and how mobile is Andre out there coming off that bone bruise.
If you were the Rockets, what would you do with Chris Paul? He's 33 years of age. Got a 5-year deal there right in front of you.
They don't win games 4 and 5 without Chris Paul.
But do I want to give him 5 years, Reg, at $200 million?
No, I don't. Now, we got to get into a locked room, and we've really got to talk about this, but I would still give him 5 years. I never want to talk about another man's money, but 150 to 170.
Man.
Look, these dudes follow Chris Paul, and he is a shot maker, and he demands everyone's excellence. And when he could not get off the floor, and immediately we knew he wasn't going to play in Game 6 or 7. He could barely walk. He could barely get up from the seat after they got him to the bench. So we knew he wasn't going to play. But they don't win Game 4 or 5 without him. So I think that's how important he is to the team. And right now, I go full court press trying to get you-know-who from Cleveland.
Yeah, but does that work to get you-know-who with guys who love to have the ball? You said, you can't change your spots here. And is Harden all of a sudden not going to do ISO ball, and Paul not going to do ISO ball because LeBron's going to do ISO ball too?
Well, you need more shooters, better shooters, I should say, more consistent shooters. But that's a pretty good trio. Chris Paul, LeBron James,
Does
and
it
James
work?
Harden.
But would it work?
Well, first of all, LeBron's in the finals for 8 straight times. Right now he's already on a team. He's committed to a team for another 2 weeks. But yeah, I think it could work if you surround them with the right people. I mean, I love Trevor Ariza. I know the numbers don't show in Game 7, but what he does for your team, Eric Gordon, he was inconsistent all season and in the playoffs, but he did have big moments. But I would love to see LeBron stay number one with Cleveland because I love your marquee player, the best player in today's game in small markets. So number one, I would love to. But if he is to move, I mean, obviously Philadelphia, Houston. To me, those are the 2 likely destinations, in my opinion.
I think he's going to stay with Cleveland for another year.
Yeah, but he needs help. This is a guy that played in every single game.
Oh, I know.
And led the league in minutes at 34 years of age and in his 15th season, and I voted for him for MVP. That can't happen. He's got to have help if he wants to stay in Cleveland. So Dan Gilbert, I don't know how you're going to get another superstar. Maybe Paul George goes there. Now, if Paul George goes to Cleveland, I like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. He's still got some dead weight there, though.
You do.
Yeah.
But look, for what LeBron did, and I know people love to hate on it, and I'm tired of the comparison of MJ. Let's enjoy both of them. We can't keep saying who was better, who's the GOAT. We can't.
Yeah, we're done with it.
Eras players.
Yeah, we're not doing that on the show.
I can't do it anymore.
Yep, I'm not doing it.
I can't.
I'm not doing it.
I cannot do it. I am going to appreciate LeBron James in this moment. Just like I appreciated getting my head beat in by Michael Jordan in the moment. I appreciated growing up in Riverside, California, watching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I heard stories from my dad about Bill Russell. I'm going to enjoy their legacy. I can't pit these guys against one another because you can't pit eras. It's easy. It's nice water cooler talk, but LeBron is fantastic. Kobe, unbelievable. Tim Duncan. I just can't do it, guys. I can't. I'm appreciating their talents and what they've meant to the game and to the younger generation. But LeBron James and what he did in this, and a lot of it is old-time players. They're hating because we all wish that we could be LeBron in his 15th year. When we got older, we sucked. And a lot of old-time players want to hate because they wish that they were that good in their 15th year and that productive and that dominating, so they want to hate. Don't hate. Appreciate, man. Appreciate what this did do. Now, sometimes he brings it on himself, and that's when, I scratch my head and got to pull LeBron back. But I'm going to appreciate in 15 years what he has done. It's unheard of, Theodore, unheard of.
I know. I echo those sentiments. I've been saying that you're gonna have this entire career play out in front of you, and then after the fact that people are going to appreciate LeBron James. It feels like we're talking to Reggie.
On your show, I told you towards the end of Kobe's, before the Achilles injury, man, y'all better appreciate this, enjoy it, because when it's gone, it's gone.
But also, we were talking about this earlier. If Kobe came before Michael, it feels like Kobe was the bridge star. Or if he came further after Michael, it just feels like it was too close to compare the two. And Kobe wanted to be Mike, wanted to look like Mike, act like Mike, have his tongue out like Mike, shoot like Mike, be an assassin like Mike. That hurt him because it was so close to him. You could compare him, and then you realized that Michael was a better player.
Well said. And I believe there's a video on YouTube that has both of them synced up with the array of Michael Jordan shots and the way they walk, the fadeaways, the tongue, the expressions afterwards, and they're synced up side by side, and it's like you're looking at a mirror. And at times that hurts Kobe, but what doesn't hurt Kobe is those 5 championship rings, okay? So you can say what you want. To be a clone and to be in the shadow and to be probably the one player closely related to Michael Jordan, if I'm Kobe, I take that. I would take that. That's okay with me. That's all right.
Yeah, it's just we want to categorize people before they're even done. And
Stop.
I know.
Appreciate.
I know.
I mean, we got to appreciate what LeBron has done.
Don't hate.
And I don't know. You didn't have a vote this year, and cat's out the bag. I already told you who I voted for. And as much as I love the season that Harden had, I think if you had a vote now, who would be your MVP?
LeBron, but LeBron's the MVP of the league. I mean, it really starts and ends that way. I understand. Look, James Harden, give him an MVP, or Russell Westbrook Jr. the third, give him one. Okay, that's fine. It's a new story. I know how this works. LeBron is the most valuable player, the way Jordan was the most valuable player.
Right.
Karl Malone, give him an MVP. Charles Barkley, an MVP. New story, great story, good. But, this is... Here's another thing. Can you see the comparison? Now, I'll be careful when I do this. LeBron is similar to Tom Brady and Michael Jordan with Joe Montana. If we're looking at two different sports of a guy, two guys who didn't lose when they played for championships, but two guys now who may lose, but they're playing in far more championships.
And the playoffs were different. When MJ was coming up, some first rounds were the best of three, and then they moved to the best of five. LeBron has played in the era where in the first round, it's the best of seven. So when people say he's played in more games, well, he had the opportunity to play in more games than MJ, just like Montana and Brady. The playoff systems were different, more teams now for LeBron versus when MJ came in. I believe there was only 24 teams where there's 30 now. So the opportunity for LeBron's numbers to be greater is because of the eras that are different between the two players. And we like to hold on to ghost. The players that grew up with MJ, I grew up with Montana, and that's why I feel when I see Tom Brady, as great as he is, all I remember is the pass to Dwight Clark. I'm Joe Montana. That's all I think about of quarterbacks is Joe Montana. And it's crazy for me to think about that because of the brilliance of Tom Brady. We want to hate. I wanted to hate. I mean, I'm done with that, man. I'm appreciating what Tom Brady is doing is this his 15th year too? 16th year? I mean, for him to continually get back to Super Bowls, win or lose, to will his team and all the changing parts. Think about this. All the changing parts that New England has had over the years, and this dude still finds a way in the AFC to get to the Super Bowl.
Would you rather have Tom Brady's career or LeBron James?
Well, since the Super Bowl is seen by more people in the world, I would probably say Tom Brady.
Just because you're seen by more people?
The Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. I mean, that averages almost, 80 to 100 million eyes once a year.
Yeah, but LeBron's bigger. He's bigger worldwide than Tom Brady is.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I'm factoring in everything, too. I got a supermodel wife.
I'm not factoring that in.
Part of his but that's part of his popularity, Tom Brady.
Oh no,
He's married to Giselle.
Okay, but
that's part of the hype too.
If I went into Africa, do they know LeBron James or Tom Brady?
Well, Africa is going to be LeBron James.
If I go into Asia, if I go into China, they're going to know Tom Brady or they're going to know LeBron. If I go into South America, they're going to know LeBron or Tom Brady.
Okay, LeBron. Hold on. LeBron James.
Reg, don't hate, appreciate.
Oh, Tom Brady. Okay, how about this? 1A, 1B? Who's the second most famous American athlete? So if you have LeBron James, is it Tom Brady? Is it Tiger Woods? Who's more famous, Tiger Woods or LeBron James?
Tiger or Serena?
Oh, yeah. Let's not forget about Serena.
How about that?
So you're going LeBron, Serena, Brady?
I'd still go El Tigre 2. Now, and I'm talking fame worldwide.
Yes, we're going worldwide. Who's famous? LeBron James 1, and then Serena?
Yeah.
This is a poll question. Hey, Danette, let's go. Bring it up. Who's the most famous right now, not retired, who's still in the game?
Well, Tiger's sort of in the game.
Yeah, no, he's still in the game.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go. LeBron is the most famous athlete in the world of those who are still competitive.
And then Serena.
And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna still go Tiger. I'm gonna go Tiger, and then I'll go Serena.
Tiger has not been relevant since when? 2010?
10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that.
2008. Serena just won the Australian Open last year.
Yeah, I know, but she's been famous for 20 years. Tiger was more famous at his peak of being famous than Serena was.
I agree. Okay.
And more famous than LeBron.
Tiger was the greatest.
Ali was more famous at his peak of being famous than Tiger.
Could you imagine if Ali was in today's social media and all that, this era today? It wouldn't even be close. It would not even be close.
Oh, he would be awesome. It would be great. All right, I have to run. There's other things that we have to do here, Reg. I just
that
can't
is true.
look,
this is like we're sitting on a couch and we're having. It's like we're back in Indiana at the bar, me, you, and Mark, smoking cigars and having a good time conversation. Time just flies.
That was the most fun I think I've ever had involving a sports debate where it was you and Mark Jackson going at each other, and it would be like, I like Montana. I like Marino. And then they'd go, who do you like?
I like Tony Gwynn. I like Rod Carew. Oh, my God. How great was that?
It was a whole lot of fun. All right, Reg.
Theodore, you're the best.
Thank you, buddy.
Love you.
All right, let's talk soon. That's Reggie Aloysius.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.